Time now on Going Bush, Andrew, to explore the beautiful mountain ash forests of Victoria.
That's right, Nick. This area has had a proud and rich forestry history, and it's all been based on regeneration. We thought we'd come and visit and tell you the story of regen.
The mountain ash, or Eucalyptus regnans, is the biggest flowering plant found anywhere on Earth, and Victoria's central high country has a wealth of ash forests, a proportion of which are managed for wood production by Vic Forests.
Well, what we're looking at here is 1939 regrowth, so that is the area that is commonly harvested. It originates from large fires back in 1939, making it approximately or around about 71 years of age, and so those trees are the main age class that we would be harvesting at the moment.
And it's even before that harvesting starts that the story of regeneration begins. First step is to collect the seed from the proposed harvest site, which will later be used to resow the area.
Some nice regnans here.
Yep, this is up from Broken Bridge.
Yeah, very good crop.
Yeah, it's good.
So pretty consistent throughout the whole coop?
Yeah, there was a good crop. It's still the 0809 seed crop.
So once the seed's been killed, it's put in barrels and brought to areas like this. The seed stores like this spread out all over Victoria. Each barrel is labelled and given a card.
The reason that is important
Yes.
is so you know exactly what the seed is and where it came from. So when you regenerate a site, it is like for like. And the reason you want to do that is so the ecosystem doesn't change.
We want to make sure that the same plant and animal community that was there prior to the harvesting is progressively replaced and enhanced as a result of our activities.
With seed collected, the site is then prepared by either burning or ripping to give each precious seed the best chance of germination.
We try and mimic nature as much as possible. So by undertaking the regeneration burn, we're mimicking a wildfire coming through. It does two things. It creates the ash bed, and it also releases seed from the canopy and the surrounding trees, or seed trees that are within the coop. The capsule's open and the seed falls onto the coop, and the seedlings grow from there.
So Tim, we're standing in a coop which was burnt and then sown only a year or so ago, and there's trees popping up here everywhere, mate. How many actual seeds do you sow?
Within 100 metres by 100 metres square, Andrew, we sow 200,000 seeds per hectare. And of that, around 10,000 seedlings might germinate, and within another 10 years we might have 3,000 seedlings present, and then within another 50 to 60 years we'll be ending up with 300 seedlings per hectare, or trees per hectare. So it really is survival of the fittest.
This coop was sown last year, so it's just under 12 months now. We'll let it go to about 18 months, then we'll conduct a regeneration survey, which consists of walking through the coop and putting transects and plots in it to ensure that we have a productive stocking back on that coop. That will then grow back into a productive forest. We'll hand that back to the land manager, the Department of Sustainability and Environment, and that'll grow into a forest which will go back into the rotation.
We like to think of our operations as being purely organic, so that we don't commonly fertilise, and we also don't use any herbicides or any insecticides of any nature. It is purely natural regeneration and natural selection as the trees get older.
All right, well that view demonstrates the regeneration story very, very well. This is the Latrobe State Forest, and in the hills there, Nick, it's a patchwork. It's forests of all different ages.
This has been a working forest for in excess of 100 years, right up until this coop was harvested as recently as this year. And it does demonstrate the cyclical nature of this regeneration program. With the right management, it goes on and on and on and on.
Last year was a record year for the Vic Forests regeneration team. A total area of 5,300 hectares was sown, including 750 hectares in East Gippsland, which self-regenerated after harvesting operations. The total area regenerated larger than the total area of harvest at a cost of more than $6 million.
I don't think people quite understand the scope of what we do in terms of the regeneration work. It's an enormous part of our overall program, and as we've heard from the other guys, it certainly is a major part of what we do, and basically it allows our industry to be sustainable. What we're doing today to regenerate the forest will benefit the community in 70, 80, 100 years' time. So it really is part of a big cycle that we're a very small cog in.
So, most mountain ash harvested in Victoria is 1939 regrowth, with Vic Forest committed to not harvesting any ash trees that predate 1900. Seed from the site is used to sow the site to avoid subtle changes to the ecosystem. Insecticides and fertilisers aren't part of the regen story, and last year Vic Forest regenerated more area than it harvested.